If you want to support the show, the best way you can is through any of the books or current ongoing Vela shorts that are being released on a regular basis. The easiest way to find this is to go to bit.ly/tmrbooks, and you'll have links there to everything. All of my Kindle books are available for free. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you don't have to pay anything. You get it with your subscription. You can read them all. They're all in screenplay format. That includes Swan Song, The Muses, Duet, In the End, Our Past Does Not Define Us. Anything else that I've written that's available on Kindle, it's available there. You can buy a soft cover if you want. There's a hardcover collection of all of the Swan Song books, all combined into one. That's available as a hardcover. You can pre-order Echo Alpha, which is coming out in November. All of these things are available if you go on Amazon. But, quick link, if you go bit.ly/tmrbooks, I have them all there, nice, easily cataloged. Also, down toward the bottom, we have the Kindle Vela content. The first 3 episodes are always free, and then after that, there's a token system that you can use to read. Even if you don't like it, just give it a thumbs up. That way we can get it up higher so more people see it. So one final time, that's bit.ly/tmrbooks, and every Wednesday there's a new Vela book that goes up. Taser and Acrobat, Nanite and Rosebud, Tales from Another World, and The Alchemist and the Illusionist. All go up on Wednesdays, and it's all available on Kindle Vela. All of this is available bit.ly/tmrbooks. Sorry to overload the front, but before we start, one final thing. If you can please go on Apple Podcasts, if that's how you listen, and give us a 5-star rating, that would mean a lot. We're trying to get on to Rotten Tomatoes and sites like that, and we need to get more reviews to be accepted. So if you can go on and give us a 5-star review there, that would be amazing. Thank you very much. We appreciate everything you guys do when you listen. This week on 30-Minute Reviews, we are moving to Sundays. A thank you for all the listeners, and a bunch of news out of the Game Awards and a bunch of other stuff. All of that this week on 30-Minute Reviews. Welcome to 30-Minute Reviews. I am Adam. Let's see. Where do we want to start out? Let's start out with the obvious, a little bit of housekeeping. It's Sunday. This will be the new date that episodes go up, will be Sunday, because I think going through and playing, doing it on Thursdays is a little bit hectic for a schedule where I'm seeing multiple new release movies a week, and it's just easier for me to do it on Sunday. Or on Saturday, or do it at some point during the weekend and then put it up on Sunday for the week. So we'll do like a weekly news roundup. And thank you to everyone who went out and bought Duet, making it a bestseller. Now we have 2 straight weeks where one of those was a bestseller. This week coming up, starting tomorrow on December 20th through December 24th, Christmas Eve, will be The Muses. This is fitting because The Muses is a Christmas story, more than technically it is designed as a Christmas story, and it also comes out the week after Spider-Man No Way Home, and I did it first by a little bit, by like a year and a half, and it's a story about, a multiversal team up with, a multiversal villain, team coming together. And it's a fun, it's a short, fun story. It's in screenplay format. If you want to pick it up, you can get it for free, entirely for free, starting tomorrow, the 20th, through through the 24th, and that price will be free. And if you want to do that quick, bit.ly/atfreebook, ATFREEBOOK, all lowercase. Follow that link and you'll go directly to it, where you can get the book entirely for free. 100% for free, no strings attached. You add it to your Kindle library and it's there forever. So let's go on to the news. This broke right after I recorded the last episode. Amanda Stenberg, who you may know as Rue from the Hunger Games, she was also the lead in the Darkest Minds. She was also the lead in The Hate U Give. She was recently in Dear Evan Hansen. She will be cast as the lead of The Acolyte, which is the Star Wars show set during the High Republic era. I think this is great casting. She's a pretty good actress, and it's a big enough name where it'll draw people, but at the same time, not a big enough name where it'll draw a substantial amount of the budget. Altogether, great casting. Let's see, what else do I have? While doing press for The King's Man, which is coming out this week, Matthew Vaughn came out and said that he is anticipating shooting Kingsman 3 this September, which is, again, him directing with Colin Firth reprising and Taron Egerton also reprising. So that's going to be a cool, thing. I'm looking forward to that. I actually really liked The Golden Circle. I think I'm in the minority on that. But I did really like The Golden Circle, so I'm looking forward to seeing that, come to life in a new way. Let's see. A few things from Warner Brothers. There is a theatrical date for Blue Beetle, which up until I saw this story, I thought Blue Beetle was a exclusive to HBO Max. Apparently, I was incorrect on that. It will be coming out August 18th, 2023 in theaters, and it will be, live action. So I'm looking forward to that. That's the first movie that we have an announcement for after Aquaman, I think. If I remember my release dates properly. Next, we have Warner Brothers is not changing their 2022 theatrical release strategy. Now, if you've been paying attention this year, you will know that anything that Warner Brothers puts out, distributes, not necessarily makes, is also going to HBO Max. And that's, pandemic related. They don't want to worry about, people not going to, having to worry about going to theaters, especially now as Omicron is coming, and they're afraid of all of that. They buckled down this week and said they will not be changing their strategy for 2022. And starting in 2022, HBO Max will not be doing day and date anymore. They'll be back to a full theatrical schedule. And I think part of that did have something to do with the monumental box office of No Way Home, which opened up to $253 million this weekend, with COVID being what it is. So I think that had a small part in this. So they will not be changing their theatrical strategy for the near future. The next one, they are making a Gotham Knights show. Now, I think it's unclear as to whether or not this is going to be a spin-off of Batwoman, but it is featuring Batwoman writers who will be showrunning this show, and it will be featuring Damian Wayne in the lead. And then it's going to be on the CW, presumably within the Arrowverse, and moving on from there. We got a trailer for Fantastic Beasts 3. I'm unimpressed. I've been unimpressed with Fantastic Beasts since the first one. And at first I thought it was just me. Like, oh, well, maybe Harry Potter was special to me because when I was a kid, I was like, oh, sweet, Harry Potter stuff. Like, they're making the book I love into a movie. And then it's like I watched Fantastic Beasts and I'm like, oh, this is not that good. And then Fantastic Beasts 2 was just awful. And then Fantastic Beasts 3 is shaping up to be not great either. It doesn't look great. And then there was a thing, it's like, oh, we're going to see, like, Germany during World War II with the wizards. And I'm like, because that's what we need, is we need, to see what was going on in the Holocaust with the wizarding world. I don't think that's necessarily an important part of the lore that needs to be explored. Like, Warner Brothers went out of their way to not address that in Wonder Woman by just saying, okay, here she is in World War I, and now we're in the 80s. Let's have fun. And it's like, I don't think that needs to be addressed. This, coupled with the following statement from Warner Brothers, they would love to do more with the Harry Potter franchise, but the story needs to be right. I feel like that those two things are at odds, because I don't think you necessarily need to have a great story to release the Fantastic Beasts movies. Like, I would watch something about the origins of the Quidditch leagues. I would watch, that could be interesting. Like, I don't, like, Fantastic Beasts just feels weird. And again, even this newest trailer kind of highlights my issue where it's like the lead of the franchise, Newt Scamander, is not the lead of these movies. He's kind of just there tagging along. And it feels kind of silly. I feel like I had more trailer news from movies. Cowboy Bebop was canceled. I did not watch Cowboy Bebop, so I'm not 100% certain about what went wrong there, if anything. Anime adaptations tend to be a little bit on the weaker side, but I can't speak to what necessarily went 100% wrong with Cowboy Bebop. The trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I saw, actually, when I saw Spider-Man No Way Home the second time, I saw the trailer for Sonic. Actually, it was in both, the Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I just had the problem where I wish that they had gone with Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles as the name of the movie, but the first Sonic movie was a surprisingly perfectly fine movie. Like, I thought it was funny, it was entertaining, and I had very low expectations for it, and the movie comes out, and it was, I don't want to say great, because great seems like a lot, but it was good. I mean, it's obvious that everyone's having a good time. Like, even James Marsden, who's playing kind of a no-nonsense kind of role, even he's kind of, like, visibly having a good time with it. So I think that was a great, like, it's great to continuing this. I want to see it continue. They're really diving into some of the lore of it. And it feels like they kind of know where to and where not to touch. Because, like, they're not going into, like, the Wisps or whatever from Sonic Colors. They're not going into the Lost World. They're not going into anything like that. It's like, we have Knuckles, we have Sonic, we have Tails, we have the Master Emerald, we have, Sonic riding on Tails' airplane. Like, this is what we want. They know what we want. They're giving us what we want. And it feels like they're making the right decisions. I would like for them to continue on with this. Eventually they have to get to Shadow the Hedgehog. I think that's got to be 3, where they recreate a clone of Sonic, and it's Shadow. A lot of talk about Idris Elba's voice as Knuckles. I feel like it feels weird to me that the only person reprising from the games is Tails, and Tails feels like Tails. Colleen O'Shaughnessy is reprising, but, like, I don't think that necessarily, like, like, Ben Schwartz is a good Sonic, but it doesn't feel like Sonic from the games. And the same way, Idris Elba as Knuckles is interesting and cool, but it doesn't feel like Knuckles in the games. And Tails distinctly feels like Tails in the games, and that it's a little bit of a weird disconnect between them. What else do I have here? All right, I think that's it for that stuff. This brings us to this week's big story, which is all the reveals at a Gamescom. Or not Gamescom, wow. The Game Awards. So let's start out with what I know for certain. I should have taken better notes. That would have been the smart thing to do. Lord of the Rings Gollum got a new trailer. That's the game where you play as Gollum. I think it is canon to the books, or at least the movies. Like, Gollum is designed to look like Gollum from the movies. So, that's still happening. It looks pretty cool. I'll end up playing it probably. Star Wars Eclipse got formally announced and was promptly boycotted because the company behind it has some sexual abuse issues behind the scenes from female staffers who have noted it. So it's, I probably won't play it. I mean, because they haven't taken a proper response to it. But again, I haven't looked into the situation at all to be able to comment one way or the other. I would not be surprised if there was a certain amount of astroturfing involved with people who are unhappy with Star Wars in general, being like, oh, well, I won't play this because X, Y, and Z. And then it's like, okay, well, we're not going to play it because of X, Y, and Z. So I can see that being a thing, but I can't speak to it one way or the other. Let's see, what's next? Dune Spice Wars was announced. That game, I think it is a real-time strategy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't have it written down. Looking forward. I'll play anything with Dune, thrown on it. Put a Dune coat of paint on any game, I'll play it. Star Trek Resurgence is a third-person narrative game that looks pretty cool. I'll probably play that too. And then the two that I can really talk at length about, there is a new Voltorb variant in Pokemon Arceus, Pokemon Legends Arceus. The Hisuian Voltorb, which I'm probably mispronouncing, is going to be the what's it called? Is going to be the new the new variant there, which makes sense considering Pokeballs aren't really electronic in this era, so it would need to be wood based. It is electric grass, which makes sense. Presumably Electrode is also getting a variant. Voltorb is one of those ones that, like, as they started creating variants, I'm surprised it didn't get a variant, because they could have done a Beast Ball variant for what was it, for those first games. They could have done a variant for what was that other game? I forgot what it was. It would be cool if they did more variants of later Pokemon, like when they go back and they remake them. Like, that was part of my problem with Diamond and Pearl, the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl with the remakes, was like, you have this opportunity where you can create variants of later designed Pokemon, and they just didn't. It feels kind of lazy. It would have been an interesting thing to see them do. And same thing with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And the thing is, it's not a direct one-to-one remake in the same way that Diamond and Pearl are, so I can understand that. But if we look at what Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were, they could have done Cantonian versions of later Pokemon if they were so inclined. And it would have been interesting to see how that goes. This is the one that I kind of wanted to talk about because it did lead directly to a conspiracy theory. And you know how much I love internet conspiracy theories. They revealed a new Wonder Woman game from the studio behind Shadow of Mordor. And this one will be continuing the Nemesis system from those games, and it will be telling a story with Wonder Woman. I believe the Nemesis system would include the Atlantean. Again, presuming, I didn't watch the trailer, but I'm presuming it would be the Atlanteans, any number of other people. Other tribes of Amazon, that kind of thing. And I can't guarantee that. I'm just assuming. Now, they announced that. There is a game that Warner Brothers Games is currently in development on, but has not released any new information on in a while, and that would be Hogwarts Legacy, I think it's called. The new Harry Potter Wizarding World game that they're working on. There's been no new information on that since it was originally announced, which, okay, that will happen when a game is made and the game is being released, because it's not specifically what the game is. You get what I'm saying, where it's like, we're not going to reveal something until we have something to reveal. I totally get that. Totally on board with that. Totally, completely understand it. This would have been a big stage for them to really unveil that game and show it off. But again, it's not like, using the Academy Awards or something like that. You're using the, what's it called? You're using the Game Award, which are online streamed, and if someone would see it there, they'll see it elsewhere too. It's just you want to have it there so it looks bigger. And it would definitely reach a bigger audience than just uploading it to YouTube. Because people who may not have been interested in it will see it now for the first time and may be interested in it. There was a theory floated by an insider that the trailer was there, but it was pulled at the last minute because of backlash over J.K. Rowling's comments. Now, J.K. Rowling has made some truly disgusting comments regarding the trans community. I don't think that was the catalyst for that trailer not airing, and more importantly, I don't think that they threw the Wonder Woman game in its spot based on that. Because I think that would be, that's discounting the entirety of the Wonder Woman game, which was probably in development for a long time, considering this trailer exists. There is plenty of time that goes into developing a game, and they couldn't have gone 2 days before, oh crap, we're going to pull the Harry Potter trailer. Can you throw together this for a game that will probably never come out? No, that's not how it works. And also, it's they wouldn't give any information about why, happens. They wouldn't give information about why, that information wouldn't get out. And the thing is, too, it's like, if that was really the case and Warner Bros. Was really that unhappy about the comments by J.K. Rowling, there probably wouldn't be Fantastic Beasts with her involvement. They'd be trying to distance themselves, which, to be fair, they have. They have been trying to keep her name to a minimum in the trailer. Like, there is no, from the mind of J.K. Rowling in the trailer, it's her name is very small at the end where they have all the credits of everyone, and it's like screenplay by J.K. Rowling. I don't feel like that was something, a conscious decision by anyone, where it was like, maybe the decision to not air the trailer and maybe air that trailer instead, kind of like how there was the Metroid Prime 4 trailer at the end of the Nintendo Direct like 4 years ago, and we have no information on that yet. It's entirely possible that's the case, but I can't speak to that. What I can speak to is that it's unlikely that they threw this game into development with the sole purpose of creating a trailer to distract people from that. And even then, it didn't really have the impact they were hoping, because people are still talking about Hogwarts Legacy. And then Avalanche came out and said, look, we're making the next one. And I think, after looking into Avalanche and their history, I think Disney was really, really dumb to let that company go, because they owned it for a while, because they did Disney Infinity, they did like that Toy Story game that ended up being the basis for a ride in Disney World, Midway Mania. That whole thing feels kind of like, why would you let that company go? Even if Toys to Life wasn't going to be a thing anymore, there still is a market for licensed games if the licensed games can be good. And I feel like an in-house team rather than going to an outside publisher is probably a cheaper option. And definitely get to keep more of the money at the end of the day. So I feel like that was a big mistake on their part, especially if Hogwarts Legacy really takes off and does well. They're going to be kicking themselves over that. I think the fact that Disney doesn't have a video game division is kind of a misstep on their part. Look, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, by all accounts, is great. The Avengers had its problems. The fact that Spider-Man is being developed independently by Sony, and Spider-Man's great. Miles Morales is great. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 2, and I'm looking forward to Wolverine. I would rather... if I'm Disney, I would rather have it in-house than outsourced to Sony, though, because then you got to pay. There's licensing fees involved, and there's a big pain in the ass. And then on top of that, you're not keeping as much of the money. Why not just keep it in-house and then just say we'll keep it Sony exclusive and be like, look, we'll do it exclusively on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, not go to Switch, not go to the Xbox One. Why not do that and then go with that? So I don't think the Wonder Woman game was solely created to shit on the Hogwarts Legacy game. I do, however, think that the Hogwarts Legacy trailer may have been pulled at the last second, but I can't guarantee one way or the other that that's true, because it's like, if that were the case, then why wouldn't they have dumped off with Fantastic Beasts? Warner Bros. Is a company. So we'll wrap up there for today. A kind of short episode. Next week will be Christmas, and the week after will be New Year's. So we'll have a year in review before the end of the year, and we'll be back with that. So until then, have a great rest of your week. Oh, one more thing. Just to remind everyone, if you go to bit.ly /ATFreebook, ATFREEBOOK. That's bit.ly /ATFREEBOOK, all lowercase. You get a free copy of the Muses between Monday and Friday of this week. So starting tomorrow through Christmas Eve. So final thought for today. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Do you like the show? Do you hate the show? Are you indifferent to the show? No matter what, you should probably let us know what we're doing so we can change it to better suit you, the listener's needs. You can go to either bit.ly /BOScontact, which is a contact form page you can use. Also, you can just email us directly at 30minutereviews@gmail.com. If you have questions that you would like us to answer, we can answer them on the air. We have a few questions every week that will be selected to be answered on air. So if you want to tell us what we should do, or if you have a suggestion for a movie or a TV show or something we should cover, go to bit.ly /BOScontact, and also email us 30minutereviews@gmail.com.